We're about to go through something that we have not experienced in quite some time. It's an extended spell of Arctic air that's headed into the Midwest, into the Great Lakes area, and then eventually on to the East Coast. This is at least for 10 days, possibly even longer, lasting until mid-December, tells us the Memphis, Tennessee National Weather Service, along with others. The first of this Arctic front comes in tomorrow. The air comes in tomorrow night. Tuesday is when we see high temperatures, possibly not even reaching 40 degrees, and realize that it's only November. But that's just the beginning. The Arctic air really gets going with Arctic front number 2, which comes in with an associated storm system. That's for Wednesday night and Thursday. That brings our temperatures down into the teens, and then a clipper system over Shabbos and Sunday. That thing brings another Arctic front through the area, bringing even colder temperatures. A strong upper level northwest flow continues throughout the week next week, bringing continuous clipper systems in most likelihood. These clipper systems are strong but moisture-starved systems that move through the Midwest, dropping a quick inch or so of snow many times, powdery snow, windy, with cold conditions as they pile up, every couple of days. The things start to pile up. It's a Rosh Chodesh Kislev system. We go into this week. We have to talk about the midweek system. The first system that comes through is a rainmaker, if even that, for us here in the Chicago area. Tomorrow will be the final day of temperatures reaching 50 degrees. That all changes after tomorrow as that first Arctic air comes right off of the snowpack of Western Canada. The snowpack is solid and has been expanding. That air has been sitting there for a while. It has not really come back. The air last week, that 4-inch snowstorm, unbelievable storm, that system had a little bit of some Arctic air. It took off from a reservoir of Arctic air in Western Canada, but it wasn't solid Arctic air. A lot of that snow fell from dynamic cooling. Quite a remarkable experience, that storm, kind of backwards. This week, we do have a midweek winter storm that could develop. At this point, it looks like it probably won't. That's due to the zonal flow. The zonal flow that's forecasted to develop this week is going to prevent the storm from maturing too much. Therefore, although we do have Gulf moisture colliding with Arctic air and a low pressure system, we don't have copious amounts of Gulf moisture, and we don't have strong low pressure in most likelihood. The track could still change. It does look like a smaller storm. We still could get about 3 to 6 inches in the bullseye, which could be for portions of central to northern Indiana and places on east. This storm, when it reaches the Appalachians, does eventually start to strengthen and move northeast. In fact, it strengthens so intensely, the thing eventually spins westward. It retrogrades westward when it reaches Canada. So the state of Maine could get a very solid snow out of this. By mid-December, that's when the North Atlantic Oscillation Index goes back into neutral, tells us the Memphis, Tennessee National Weather Service. So we do have an extended spell of Arctic air because the North Atlantic Oscillation Index is negative, but it goes back to neutral mid-December. So the below normal weather pattern probably could become normal again by mid-December, and there are no indicators of any warming in the stratosphere, so no weakening of the polar vortex, causing the polar vortex to come down south. That's something which is not in the forecast at the current time. Thank you for listening. I wish everybody a wonderful night and have a wonderful week. Stay safe if you're in central Indiana or Ohio, where you could get a few inches of snow this week. The National Weather Service of Chicago tells us there's only a 33% chance of an impactful winter storm developing midweek affecting Chicago. So the chances are it's not going to happen, but there is a 33% chance it could happen. But compare that to the Climate Prediction Center that tells us there's an 80 to 90% chance of well below normal temperatures 6 to 10 days out. Have a wonderful